Morning guys, welcome to the first bank rate blog. Hasn't turned out exactly how we wanted it to. The idea is that we would share experiences on different waters just to broaden horizons for everyone who subscribes to the channel. But unfortunately the bailiff here today, or yesterday rather, said that he'd rather not disclose this place, which is it's a crying shame. It's a lovely little water near Coventry, great variety, well, as we found out, and you'll see a little later on. But it's been ridiculously cold, this easterly blowing constantly for the last week. Temperatures here around about 4 or 5 degrees during the day, night dropping to -2. So carp, which is obviously what we're ideally after, have been really hard to say the least. We've had one out, and I'll hopefully introduce you to Lenny in a little while. So what I aim to do over the course of these blogs as we go on is introduce you to people that I've met purely through the sport and pastime of carp fishing. Some really good mates that I've made just from getting out there, getting on the banks, guys that you get talking to. The next thing you're friending on Facebook, and before you know it, you're planning trips to France with these guys, which hopefully we'll bring to you later on in the series. But it's just about embracing what gets us all into carp fishing. Everyone's pretty like-minded when it comes to their hobby, sport, obsession, whatever it may be to you. Carp fishing holds a special part in each of our lives, although our other halves may at times disagree. But yeah, you'll get introduced to some of the guys that I've met, and I've learned from them, and hopefully some of the things that we get up to will help the lads who are starting out. No doubt there's going to be guys out there who are streaks ahead and advanced and have been doing it for many more years than us combined. But we just want to get everyone engaged and get a bit of banter going, so we can get this social aspect into carping. So Lenny and myself, we rocked up here yesterday, had the rods in for 24 hours, been pretty slow, couple of liners, nothing exciting. Simon rocks up the next morning, sets up in the peg up from us, which, to be fair, did look pretty enticing. And within about 6 hours, he had this. How does it feel, Si? Good. He's got you over line, hasn't he? How's it feel?
Yeah, it's good.
Go on, Leinster. Not exactly what he was after. Nonetheless, a fish on the bank was a fish on the bank. We heard that sturgeon were in here, and that was the first time we'd seen one on the bank. So fortunately for us, he was a manageable size. As we found out later, we were going to need to know how to care for them on the bank properly. Anyway, about an hour later, same rod, ripped off again, and he had this little beauty. I'll let you judge.
Here he goes, he's off. Yeah, he's off again, yeah.
Good angling, buddy. Well, after a good, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
It's not quite the carp we were after, but look at this beauty. Right, let's get some photos. Fortunately, you know, we've had catfish before down in the southwest at Broadlands. I've had a few in Africa, so this one wasn't too tricky to deal with. Good fight. Not long after size fish came on the munch, my rod ripped off. Got behind it, struck in, then the next rod ripped off. Couldn't believe it, so Lenny had to help out. He got himself on one of the rods, and basically what had happened is the one fish had somehow managed to pick up both hook baits, which, you know, we're about 3 meters apart, fishing over a little baited spot, and we got him on the bank, and this is what he looks like at 21. I know we came for carp, and people had said sometimes the sturge get in the way, but it's the first sturge that we've had on the bank, and we're certainly not going to complain in these cold conditions. It's just nice to get a bend in the rod. They're not as feisty as I'd heard or seen other videos of, but again, that's probably because of the cold. Anyway, put our rods back in. 11 o'clock last night, we sat down having a social coffee. Again, went off. We got behind it. This one, the sturgeon did actually jump out of the water. Pretty impressive to watch. Nonetheless, it was a sturge. Got him in, got him weighed, and he was 39 pounds. So all went pretty quiet after that. At 11 o'clock, battened down the hatches, got into our bivvies, and next thing I know, I had Lenny waking me up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and he had a little carp. I was going to take a stroll over into Lenny's palace, have a coffee, and get him to talk us through a rig. I'm going to put money on that he's probably asleep in here. Let's have a look, see if we can play. Sleeping Beauty!
Oh yeah, baby!
Get in it, let's get the kettle on, right? Okay, so just quickly show you the rig that Lenny used. Only difference being the one he had two boilies, snowman, not popped, just both on the bottom. But basically, all he's got, put a shrink tube there, you can see that, holding it close to the hook. Again, put a shrink tube just to give it that kick. And then it's a bit of, it's coated braid, isn't it? Coated braid. Lenny uses quick clips, so he just puts a little sleeve on there so you can push that over the quick clip once it's on. About 5 o'clock this morning, got him, well, first carp of the trip, so it's obviously doing something right.